If you want to learn how to design a beautiful book cover in Figma, keep watching this video because I am going to teach you how. Okay, so the first step in designing a book cover is to choose the right dimension. So there are a couple of different dimensions for a book cover based on which publisher you're going to work for. Anyhow, I have found one great blog on internet where we can see different kind of dimensions for different kind of publishers. For example, here we have a Kindle Direct. I'm going to choose this one. So 1600 by 2560. So let's just add a dimension right here. Use a shortcut A to create a new frame. So just add here a frame, specify 600 as a width and 2560. And the next thing after that, we need to choose the right background image for our book cover. So there are plenty of different resources out there that we can use to actually find a great wallpaper for our book cover. For example, you may have already heard about the unsplash.com. There is also a pexels.com and even a freepik.com as well. So you can choose one of those 3 different websites or some other different website as well. For example, here we can search for photos, for free photos. We can search here for a golf course maybe. And you can scroll down below to find the perfect image for you. Now in this case I have already found one great image, which I'm going to just import right now. And I'm going to place this image within this frame. So right there, let me just increase its overall size, perfect. Now after that we need to choose the right font for our book cover. So the number one website for choosing your fonts is called fonts.google.com. And here you can search for different categories of fonts. You can even type here your own word, for example, build a dream, and see how that word will look like on a different kind of fonts here. You can also increase the overall size as well, so it's up to you. And a second good website where you can search for font pairings is called fontpair.co. So this website offers quite a pairings of different fonts that you can use for titles and subtitles as well. For example, here we have a title font, we have a subtitle font, and down below we can choose and scroll to see different kind of combinations for bolder title font and regular font as a subtitle as well. There you go. So be sure to check out this font pair website. Now I have already chose what kind of a font I want for this specific book cover. So I'm going to write here a title which will say build a dream. Let me just zoom in. I'm going to use this scale tool. So K is a shortcut. Just to drag this right there. I'm going to actually create here a new separate text. So just cut this part of the text, Control X. Let's add here a new one. There you go. The next thing, I'm going to select those 2 text elements by holding down the Shift. I'm going to change here the actual font to be Oswald. Okay, so the next thing here, I'm going to also add a word the building instead of the build. So there you go. I'm going to now select this text down below, select the scale tool and increase its overall width to fit the width of this text on the top. Okay, the next thing, let's select the select tool, change the color of those 2 text elements. So hold down the Shift to select both of those elements, choose a white color. Let's choose here semi-bold for the weight of this font. I can now maybe decrease its width here a little bit. There we go. Now we can choose both of those text elements and let's select the scale tool, increase its overall size here as well. Something like that for now. And the next thing now, I'm going to apply here a mode here to be the overlay, okay? And with the overlay, this is what kind of effect we're going to produce for this text. The next thing, I'm going to also add one more text down below with a different font style. So let's just copy the text down below. Let's change this layer to normal. I'm going to add here Persimmon Ridge Story. I'm going to change here the actual size of this font as well. Let's now change the font. I'm going to choose here a font which will be called Caution Script. There you go. Let's put that right below those 2 text elements. Something like that. What we can do here also, we can apply a shadow to each and every text element here. So select all those text elements by holding down the Shift. Go down below, choose a drop shadow. And we can even increase that blurriness to maybe 20 or even higher, maybe 50 in this case, and the opacity here can be maybe 30%. The next thing, I'm going to also find a couple of different images of golf balls and golf stick that we're going to place here on top of this image, and those images needs to be transparent actually, so we need to now open up the web browser and actually search for those kind of images. Now we can try to search, for example, here golf ball. Let's see what kind of results we're going to get. Okay, so this first one does look quite nice. Okay, so let's choose and try to download, for example, this one, so we can see how this will actually adapt to our own design. So let's open it up. Let's place that right here. Also, when you're importing the files, you need to use a shortcut Ctrl+Shift+K, and that way you're going to see this window to import all your assets, right? So it's that simple. Now let's reduce the size of this image by holding down Ctrl and the Shift. Move that right here. I'm going to now try to use and apply some effect here, so we can see if that's gonna actually remove this background successfully or not. Okay, so it will not work. Instead, what we need to do here, we need to use a different kind of tool which will allow us to remove this actual background from our image. So let's try to search for a plugin. So background icons 8 background remover. Let's run that. So we can remove the background and only use the ball here in our design. Let's just wait for this plugin right now. Okay, and now we have removed that actual background. There we go. So now it looks even better than before. What we can do here, we can also try to rotate this image like that. We can move that image right here. And also I want to apply here one effect, which is called a layer blur. So we want to blur this this ball a little bit. So let's just use maybe here 14. Okay. We can also increase the size of this image a little bit. We can add here and copy this image on the right side by holding down Ctrl and Shift plus Alt. We can reduce this ball on the right side. We can now rotate this ball or press Shift plus H to switch that or to rotate this image horizontally. There we go. Let's place that right here somewhere, or maybe we can put that right there. Okay. The next thing, we can now copy this second text down below. So hold down Shift plus Alt. Let's rename this to say something different. For example, Lauren. Just that will be the name of this author of this book, right? So let's just create actually here two different text elements. We can increase its overall size. So hold down the Shift to select both of those elements. Select the Scale tool by pressing a key on your keyboard. Let's increase this overall size. Move that right here and this one right there for now. And the last thing which I want to add here is one golf stick. So let's also open up this website. Let's search here for a golf stick or something. So I'm not sure how it's actually called. So golf club, I think. Okay, so here I have actually find even a better image. I'm going to now download actually this image and replace that image with this other one. Let's just extract this file. I'm going to remove those two. I'm going to import a new image here, which is even better. Alright, so this one looks perfect. We can select this same plugin to remove the background. And while this plugin is running, let's search also for a different kind of image for a golf club, right? So we can also try to search that on Google maybe. So golf club. We can type here transparent to find some transparent image if possible. So let's see what we have here. So this one looks quite nice. Let's also see what else do we have here. Let's search here for bigger images, so only the larger ones. Okay, so this one does look quite nice. I'm going to download this image, so save as, download that. Okay, so our image is now transparent. We can now reduce its actual height a little bit, place that inside our frame, put that somewhere right here, for example, and the second one right there, so inside the frame, right? Let's scale that down a little bit. And now let's import this golf club as well that we have downloaded. So this one. Let's place that right here as well. Okay, we can even rotate this image a little bit, so it's up to you. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to put that straight right here. Or we can even reduce its actual size a little bit. You can experiment and see what kind of a position would be the best for this specific use case. So I think that this position right here should be fine. So we have the title of our author. So let's just select those two text elements for our author, and let's press Shift plus angle bracket, or Control Shift plus square bracket to put all those elements on the top of those layers inside this frame. There we go. And now we can move them freely. And as a final touch here, I'm going to just modify a few things. So the first thing, I'm going to rotate this ball right here on a different size. So just hold down Shift plus H to horizontally rotate this ball so that this highlighted side can point to our actual book here. Okay. And also now I'm going to select both of those balls. So hold down Shift, and I'm going to add here that blur effect. So layer blur, and here we can increase that to maybe let's say 10. Okay. And the last thing, I'm going to create here one rectangle. So just press R key on your keyboard. Let's create here one rectangle. Change its color to black. Let's apply here a linear gradient. So this first one will be transparent, so 0% opacity. And this second one will have a full opacity. Okay. So 100%. There we go. And now what we can do, we can just move this rectangle layer behind all those text layers. Okay. And if you don't like how it looks like, you can also select this rectangle and even increase its height a little bit to remove this fully black section outside of this actual frame. There you go. And we can also just duplicate this transparent rectangle. So hold down Shift and Alt and move that on the top. Press here Shift plus V to vertically swap this rectangle, and now we can even move that all the way up a little bit. So hold down Shift and move the top arrow a couple of more times, so we can move this like that. Okay. I'm going to now hold down Shift and press down arrow multiple times. And of course, you can tweak this design furthermore. So for example, you can even reduce the opacity of this whole rectangle, for example, to 80%, and here to 80% as well. So it's up to you. And one more trick that I want to show you here. So if you want to highlight this text furthermore, what you can do, you can just select both of those text elements and press Ctrl C plus Ctrl V to duplicate this text one more time, and that way this effect will be duplicated and the text will also be highlighted as well. And there you go. So that's how you can easily create a book cover design with Figma. Be sure to comment down below and let me know what you think about this design that we have just created. And also be sure to like this video, but only if you find it helpful. For this video, that will be all.